Alright, football fans, hold on to your seats because this transfer window has gone from chaos to pure madness. Manchester United's £47 million keeper is being offered out like a bad eBay listing, and even West Ham said no. Liverpool? They're trying to sneak Crystal Palace's defensive rock out the door before deadline day. And Real Madrid? They're shutting down Manchester City's audacious move for Trent Alexander-Arnold. Yes, Liverpool's golden boy in City Blue. This isn't just transfer gossip, this is football theatre at its absolute peak. Hit like, smash subscribe, and let's go. Alright Liverpool fans, looks like Arne Slot's summer shopping spree ain't done yet. Nope, even after bagging Florian Wirtz, Hugo Ekitike, Jeremy Frimpong, Milos Kerkez and Giovanni Leoni the Reds still want one more shiny toy before the window slams shut. And this one? It's all about defence. Yep, Liverpool's top target is none other than Crystal Palace's defensive rock, Marc Guehi. And, according to fresh reports, Palace are finally warming up to the idea of letting him go. The Eagles have been holding firm all summer, but now they're preparing to accept a new offer from Liverpool, which basically means Arne Slot smells blood. Now, here's the backstory. Palace chairman Steve Parish has already dropped the biggest hint Guehi either signs a new contract or he's out the door. Simple as that. And with Joachim Andersen already gone last year, Palace can't afford to lose another one for free. They even had bids back in January, but it wasn't the right time. Fast forward to now, with Guehi stalling on a new deal, they're boxed into a corner. Transfer guru Ben Jacobs recently said nothing was advancing yet, but Liverpool were keeping Guehi warm on their radar. Translation? The Reds were just biding their time, waiting for Palace to blink. And now that Palace are through their Europa Conference League qualifier against Fredrikstad, guess what? They don't need to cling to Guehi anymore. He's free to go for the right price. But here's the catch. Palace want £35 minus £40 million. Liverpool? They've been trying to haggle, hoping that valuation dips before deadline day. Proper cheeky stuff. It's been a classic transfer tug-of-war. Bids flying in, Palace rejecting, Liverpool circling like sharks. Now though, the word is Palace are softening. They'll sell if the offer makes sense, and Arne Slot lot are still pushing behind the scenes. Here's the spicy part. Liverpool already have 4 top-class centre-backs, at least in their eyes. Van Dijk, Konate and even Leoni, who they believe is first-team ready. So technically, they don't need Guehi. But Arne Slot knows you don't win titles without depth, and let's be honest, Van Dijk and Konate aren't exactly strangers to the treatment table. So the £1 million question, well, more like the £40 million one, is this. Will Liverpool finally cough up enough cash to seal the deal before Monday's deadline? Or will Palace stand firm and risk losing Guehi for peanuts next year? Either way, buckle up Reds fans, because this is classic last week of the window chaos. And if Guehi does walk through the doors at Anfield, don't be surprised if Arne Slot ends up with one of the strongest defensive units in Europe. And if not, well, at least you can say Liverpool tried. Unlike United with their goalkeepers. Alright football fans, buckle up, because we've got a transfer bombshell that feels straight out of a FIFA career mode save. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Liverpool's hometown hero turned Real Madrid Galactico, has suddenly found himself at the centre of a wild rumour. Manchester City, yes. Manchester City are sniffing around to bring him back to England. Now, let's rewind. Trent shocked the world earlier this summer when he swapped Anfield for the Bernabeu. He technically had a free transfer lined up for next year, but Madrid, being Madrid, couldn't wait. They slapped €10 million down just to rip up his Liverpool contract early and get him in time for the FIFA Club World Cup. Classic Florentino Perez. When Los Blancos want a player, patience is not on the menu. The hype was massive. A Champions League winner, one of the best right-backs in the game, rocking up in Spain to play under Xabi Alonso, it all sounded like footballing poetry. But here's the twist. His start at Real Madrid? Kinda meh. He's got a handful of appearances, one lonely assist, and hasn't exactly lit up La Liga. For a player who redefined what a right-back can do at Liverpool, it's been underwhelming. Cue the gossip mill. This week, reports exploded claiming Pep Guardiola and Manchester City are eyeing a sensational January move for Trent. Imagine that! Liverpool's golden boy, now in City blue. The internet would break. Klopp would probably combust. And Anfield? Absolute meltdown. But, and it's a big but, Real Madrid aren't having any of it. According to Marca and Defensa Central, the club's stance is crystal clear. Trent isn't going anywhere. They say he's still adapting, still figuring out what it means to be Real Madrid. Alonso is happy with him in training, sees him and Dani Carvajal as complementary pieces, one the seasoned warrior, the other the creative weapon. In short, patience, people. Even better, Madrid insiders claim Trent himself is delighted with his first months in Spain. Sure, he knows he has to raise his game, but the club trust him completely. Alonso? Full backing. Florentino? Zero doubts. Man City may be lurking, but Madrid aren't even picking up the phone. Now, here's the spicy subplot. Trent's been dropped from the latest England squad for the World Cup qualifiers. No Andorra, no Serbia, Gareth Southgate leaving him out completely. Which only adds more fuel to the narrative that he's in a weird limbo right now, too good to ignore, but not firing on all cylinders. So what's next? On one hand, you've got Real Madrid doubling down on their faith. On the other, you've got Manchester City waiting like vultures in January. And stuck in the middle is Trent, trying to prove he's more than just a Scouse export in white. If you're a Liverpool fan, this whole saga probably feels like watching your ex move abroad, then hearing rumours they might hook up with your worst enemy. Brutal. But hey, this is football. Drama never sleeps. Alright United fans, let's be real for a second. Things between Andre Onana and Manchester United have gone from bad to embarrassing to Grimsby Town just dunked on you in the League Cup levels of disaster. Yep, you heard that right. The £47 million man between the sticks, the guy who was supposed to be Erik Ten Hag's diamond keeper, is now being shopped around on loan like an unwanted spare part at a Sunday market. And guess what? Even West Ham looked at the offer and went, nah, you're good. So here's the situation. United had a nightmare 2024-25 campaign. Onana caught fire, not in the good way, and every mistake felt bigger than the last. Fast forward to this season, Altay Bayindir, the forgotten backup, actually got the nod for the first two Premier League matches. And when Onana finally returned for a League Cup tie against League Two's mighty Grimsby Town, he had a shocker. Both of their goals? On him. United went out on penalties to Grimsby. Yeah, you couldn't script it worse if you tried. And because of that, United have quietly been working on a deal for Royal Antwerp's Senne Lammens. Word is, the deal is within reach. Negotiations are in the final stretch. Even transfer guru Ben Jacobs has confirmed United are pushing hard to get it over the line before deadline day. But here's the kicker. Onana's camp is clearly scrambling, offering him out to clubs, and The Guardian just revealed West Ham said no to a loan. Imagine that the Hammers, desperate for a keeper, still didn't want him. That's how bad the PR around Onana has gotten. Now, not everyone thinks shipping him off is the answer. Michael Owen popped up saying United have bigger problems to fix than goalkeeper. His words, he's no Schmeichel, but I wouldn't be rushing him out. Meanwhile, Louis Saha went full savage after the Grimsby debacle, calling Onana's errors horrific mistakes and straight up shambolic. So where does this leave United? They're basically juggling two keepers, one who's lost the fans and the trust, and one who hasn't really been tested. If Lammens comes in, that could be the final nail in Onana's short and messy Old Trafford chapter. But here's the real drama. United don't have time. The window slams shut Monday. Will they actually pull the trigger on Lammens? Will Onana really be shipped out if nobody wants him? Or are we about to see United stuck with a goalkeeper they don't trust and can't offload? Either way, the circus at Old Trafford just keeps getting better, unless of course you're a United fan. And there you have it, another week of transfer drama, meltdowns and shock twists that feel like they've been ripped straight out of a Football Manager save. From Onana's nightmare at Old Trafford to Liverpool pushing for one last defensive upgrade to Trent Alexander-Arnold somehow being linked with City while still unpacking in Madrid, this window has had it all. The clock's ticking, the rumours won't stop, and by the time the deadline hits, we'll either be laughing at the madness or crying at what our clubs have, or haven't, pulled off. Either way, buckle up because the circus never leaves football.